Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me. Today I am talking about paring down my patterns, sort of curating my pattern stash to create a more wearable, consistently wearable wardrobe. I have a lot of sewing patterns. And I'm a bit of a magpie, so I oftentimes make something and then I will like that pattern a lot, I'll like the garment a lot, but then I'll be on the lookout for something new and I will forget about it, and that'll be the end of it. So what I have done is, for the last couple of weeks, I have been going over all of my patterns, and that's a lot. And I have whittled them down to about 20 patterns that I feel like are patterns that I have made. I really like the result, and they are also the patterns that the garments that I end up wearing over and over and over. So here's the thing. My idea is not to use all of these patterns. My idea is that I will have this little collection of patterns all in one place, so when I come down to the sewing room when I want to work on something, I can go through my curated stash and just pick one of those things and know that I'm going to make something that I will love and wear. So I thought I would share with you which ones made the cut. So let's get started. First up is tops. And I'm going to start with t-shirts, even though I just recently did a t-shirt video, so I'm not going to go into these in great detail. But the three t-shirts that I kept in here are the Pattern Emporium Keep It Simple tee. I've made this multiple times, as I've said before. I kept this in because it has so many different necklines and sleeve variations. It's just really easy to use as like a layering piece. The Liberated bedrock tee is I kept in here for a drapier, looser t-shirt. And what I forgot about when I was talking about t-shirts before is I have the Tropical Research Minimalist tee, which is a really good, solid, basic t-shirt. So that one is also going to stay in. Now, for more sweater type knit tops, I have just a few. I have the Big Easy, which is the one I was wearing last week. That one is from the Maker's Atelier. I do have two of those. They are both black. I also have a Alabama Chen sweater kind of top that looks almost exactly like that my husband gave me for Christmas a few years ago. That one is an off-white. So I may or may not make another one of these because I'm not sure that I really need another one. But if I do, I really like that pattern, and it would be good in, say, a different color or a print or something like that. The other ones that I have is the Elbe textiles Staley top. I have made this only once, but and it's not even in a color that I particularly love, but I wear it all the time. So I really feel like I should make one of these in a color that I really like. I also have the Matchy Matchy all around crew. I really like this for a big oversized fit, and I may use this one instead of the Maker's Atelier Big Easy, just because it's a little bit different, and I don't actually have one of these in my wardrobe at the moment. For woven tops, I have a few. I have the Tropical Research t-shirt tunic, which I have made. I think I have 3 of these. They're all summer versions though. They're all short sleeved or like almost like a cap sleeve. So I'd really like to make one of these in a longer sleeve version. I really love this top. I love the way it fits, and it looks really good with big baggy pants. So I really feel like I need a winter version of this. I also have the Vivan Shao Chen Laurence top, which again I have made a few times. I made it twice as sleeveless, and I think I made it once as a long sleeve top, or a 3/4 sleeve top, but I also turned that into a dress. So I feel like, and that's one of my favorite dresses. So I feel like that's a really good versatile pattern too. Now those are both just round neck, straight, sort of like A-line shapes, pretty simple. So I need something with like a collar or something a little bit different. I have a few of those. I have the oversized shirt from the assembly line patterns, which is probably my favorite like standard shirt pattern. I also have two of the tops from Allotment clothing. I have the Mar shirt, which I really, really like. It is a placket front, so it doesn't button all the way up, but it does have like a little grandpa collar, and I feel like that's one that I could use in a lot of different ways also, just by changing the lengths and the fabrics. And then I also have their potting shirt. This is just like a popover kind of shirt, but again, I feel like this is a pretty simple shape, and I have some ideas about how to hack this already that I've had going around in my mind for a while, so I kept this one in here too. For pants, it will be no surprise to you guys that I have 3 of the 4 Allotment clothing pants patterns. The maxi pants, which I still really love, I have 2 pairs of those, so I don't know that I need another pair, but I'm going to keep it in the mix in case I find something I love to make in those pants. Make those pants in. I also have the Mar and the potting pants. I really love both of those pants, and I have fabric for both of those for the winter, and I'm really, like, those are probably for sure makes. Aside from that, I also kept in here my Merchant and Mills 101 trousers. These are just like one of my favorite pant patterns of all time. They're easy, they're loose, they're baggy, they're not hugely oversized. They look really good in like drapier fabrics. That's probably not the best for a winter wardrobe, but I still really like them, and I feel like when I wear them under tunics and things like that, I really like the way they look. I currently only have, I think I only have I have 2 pairs of these in my wardrobe right now, so maybe I will make them again and maybe I won't for this winter, but I'm keeping this in here because it's a really good one, and I do really like wearing these pants. Then I have, I needed 1 knit pant, mostly just for like loungewear kind of stuff, and that is definitely going to be my Pattern Emporium Pleats to Meet You. I love that pant pattern. I have 2 pairs of these. One was my wearable muslin. That's really ugly, and I hate actually looking at them, but I keep wearing them because I love the way they feel. And I love the way the shape is and everything. I'm going to make a new pair of those so I can get rid of the pair that I think is really ugly and I don't like wearing. Okay, I also have a couple of dresses. I have the Me and Miss Moore Feel Good dress. I really like this dress. I have made this twice, but one of them was too small, so I gave it away. So I just have the one, which was my wearable muslin. I really want to make this in the longer sleeve version. It's like a 3/4 sleeve version. I also have a couple of hack ideas for this, so I definitely would like to make this one again. I also have the woolfork dress from Jack Studio. This one is another one I made when this pattern first came out, and I really, really love this pattern. I really love the way it looks. I love the way it feels, but I only have one version, and it is a sleeveless version. It makes a great slip, like for spring and summer or for layering, but I really want to make the one with the sleeves so I can wear it like under sweaters and stuff for the fall and winter, so that is definitely going to stay in. Now, I don't have any like actual slips, and I don't have a lot of other dresses. I also don't have any skirts, and that's just because I have a lot of slips, so it's easy for me to use those in the wintertime as layering pieces. I just don't really need any more of those right now. And skirts, I just don't wear skirts in the winter, like at all. So I don't have any of those in here. I do have a few other like third piece kind of items that I would really like to make. These are all patterns that I have used before and I really like. The first one is another Allotment pattern. This is a Leland vest, but there are a million vests like this. It's just a really simple, like straightforward vest. I have a couple of pieces of fabric that are just smaller pieces altogether that I think would be really good for this piece, and I really like the idea of putting this over a dress or one of my big shirts and a pair of pants to just sort of make a whole outfit. I also have the Me and Miss Moore All Seasons Pinafore, which I really love, and that's another really good layering piece. I only made that as a muslin, and I don't have one in my, I used like an old sheet. It wasn't even a wearable muslin. So I really would like to make that again and have that as a wearable garment. The last one I have is the Tropical Research Minimalist cardigan. This is also a really versatile pattern because I could see this in like a shorter version with a crop sleeve, a longer version with a crop sleeve. Like you could do a lot of stuff with it, just depending on what kind of fabric you use. And I would like to make this as like a cardigan to wear like around the house or inside, not just around the house, but inside, as opposed to like a coat. He does show you like a quilted version, which I think is really cool. But I would like to make this in a lighter weight so I could wear it as like I said, as a garment piece as opposed to a piece of outerwear. Oh, I forgot to say the other thing I don't have in here that might surprise you guys. I did not include my favorite Berta pants pattern, and I know it's a shock because I wear that. I show that to you guys all the time. But I have so many of those right now, I just didn't really want to include that in this list. I feel like I need to move on and do something a little different without like breaking my core style. I just feel like maybe I could do that one again in the spring and summer. Okay, I actually think that that is about it. I think altogether I have about 20 of those, 20 patterns. And like I said, I'm not planning on making all 20 patterns. I'm just using this as sort of a way to keep myself centered around things that I actually really like. I like to make, I like to wear, and sort of keep myself from being always like searching for the next best thing. Because like I said before, I have a lot of patterns and I try a lot of patterns, and I'd like to blame that on you guys. I'd like to say I do that for your benefit, but the truth is I'm just a magpie and I get really distracted really easily. I really, I don't want to keep making clothes that I don't actually wear. I went to a clothing swap a couple of weeks ago, and I was super excited to take some of my me-made garments that I have made for this channel that I just ended up never wearing, and I was super happy. I was super excited to see them all go. That made me like beyond thrilled. But it also, I mean, I don't want to have to keep doing that. I want to focus on things that I actually wear while still being like, still providing you guys with some things that are interesting to talk about. So my idea is by sort of narrowing down my pattern stash and working with sort of my tried and true patterns, that I will not only like keep from buying new patterns and trying new things and making things that I don't wear, but I will also sort of inspire my creativity. Because I feel like if you have a pattern that works and you really like, you don't have to look for other people to make the creative decisions for you. You can use those patterns and make the creative decisions yourselves. You can add collars and cuffs or button fronts or pullovers. You can do whatever you want once you get the patterns in a place that you like, the way they fit, the way they go together, that kind of thing. So that is my goal. That's what I'm hoping to do here. These obviously are the patterns. Next week, I will be going over my patterns, my fabric stash with you guys, and we'll try to do the same thing. I'm going to try to curate that down to a good selection of fabrics that I know I love and will wear. Now, if you're interested in sort of following along with me on this, I just joined Threadloop, and I haven't added all my patterns because that would take me forever. But what I have done is I started adding my patterns in there, and all of the patterns that I intend to use for this season, the ones I just talked about, I have added as my favorites over there. So you can go check those out if you want. I think I figured out a way to provide a link for you guys to see that profile, I hope. Additionally, of course, you are welcome to join me over on the Discord chat. I will be talking about these over there as well. I do have a question for you guys this week. Last week, Adadonna asked me in the comments, she was asking me about elastic for elastic waist pants. She asked me what I liked and what I used. So here's the thing. I bought a variety of widths in knitted elastic from Wawak Sewing Supply a couple of years ago. And I bought them all in giant rolls. So I have a ton because I use a lot of elastic. But I do not like that elastic. The only way you can keep it from curling is if you sew through it, which is fine. Like I can sew through it. I don't always like to do that though. I would like an elastic that does not curl, that isn't super stiff. If any of you guys have a favorite waistband elastic, please let us know in the comments, because Adadonna Donna, sorry, and I are both looking for a good one. All right, you guys, I think that is it from me this week. Please let me know what you think of my pattern choices. Let me know if you've ever done this, if you've ever sort of like curated your patterns down to sort of create something a little more manageable and also a little more inspiring. All right, until next week, you guys, I wish you all happy sewing.